Every day begins the same. A new sunrise, a fresh start. The weight of yesterday lingers, unseen, unheard. We move through busy streets, surrounded by people, yet feeling utterly alone. In silence, our minds whisper the loudest questions, doubts, fears. A battle no one else can see. Stress, isolation, and exhaustion build up, pushing us further into the quiet. But silence doesn't have to mean suffering. Sometimes the first step to healing is speaking or even writing when words feel too heavy to say. Support is closer than we think. In family, in friendships, even in distant voices on a screen. A simple gesture, reminder that no one has to go through this alone. Healing begins with understanding, with moments of stillness. And moments of freedom. With rediscovering the things that make us alive. Because in the end, the mind matters, and so do you.
Well, the earliest known medical text was from Mesopotamia era, which described depression as hands of ghost, which I totally agree. And for 5,000 years, humanity has grappled with this question: is mental suffering spiritual or biological? The Greeks built healing temples for the mad, but the Hippocrates theorized black bile caused melancholy. Meanwhile, the Hebrews performed exorcisms. And talking about the Chinese emperors prescribed meditation. Three continents I would call all as three competing truths. And on the other hand, medieval Europe declared madness either holiness or heresy. The first psychiatric hospital opened in Baghdad in 705 AD. Yet by 1247, London's Bedlam Asylum became a tourist attraction where visitors booked inmates with sticks. And even now, still it is one of the famous visited asylum by the tourists, and it comes under dark tourism. The moral treatment the moral treatment revolution began in 18th century France, where Pinot removed chains, where he advocated sunlight and conversation, which was, I guess, nailed down into his perspective of seeing illness, particularly mental illness. But his pupil Esquirol later designed the first psychiatric straitjacket, a symbol of how progress often backslides. The 1800s saw asylums multiply. In, say, 500 patients per doctor, and Europe standard as the topmost continent to have more number of patients, mental patients, and this described that as the number increased, asylums were not known as asylums, but rather than that, it was known as warehouses. It seemed like a warehouses at that time, and then the crowd was enormous during that time. And talking about treatments, spinning chairs to reset the brain, where they just spin the chair and they just sat on the patient and they spin the chair, and they believed that it would reset the brain of the mental patient. And forced starvation, which was considered an easy method for the doctors, perhaps. And the first lobotomies to talk about, which was cruel. For example, Utica State Hospital was in the 1850s was the most dreaded footage or pictures that you can see. It was so cruel, and it didn't look like a hospital, and it is not the only hospital, but there were n numbers of hospitals around Europe and US. So because of this, during that era, mortality rates hit 40%. And there followed psychoanalysis, which where in psychoanalysis they offered talk therapy for the wealthy, while the poor got electroshock, because there was a lot of famine, and it wasn't easy for the poor to afford even a bread per meal. And how would we imagine that they would get a healthy treatment for themselves? So this was considered an easy way for the doctors as well as the poor and the poor's family, the affected one's family. But the wealthy afforded it. By 1940, over 50,000 lobotomies were performed globally. Even as science advanced, cruelty, I would say, persists under new names. Today, we have a lot of psychiatric therapy and psychological therapy or whatever, like therapies and SSRIs, but still lockups, the severely ill in jails. 40% of homeless Americans have mental illness. Have we really progressed or just refined our neglect? As I said, we are just naming things differently, though it's the same. 5 millennia show one constant: those who suffer are either feared or forgotten. But history also whispers this. Every great leap began when someone chose to see a mind, not a monster. To better understand how perspectives on mental health have evolved, let's hear from someone who lived through the early years when depression was largely misunderstood. This original clip from the 1900s offers a powerful look into the past.
Depression isn't just sadness, it's a heavy fog that dims the colors of life, a silence that drowns out even the loudest joys. I know because I've lived it. Today, I want to share my story, not to dwell in the pain, but to say, you're not alone. It started slowly. I stopped feeling excited about things I used to love: music, weekends with friends, even mornings with coffee. Every day felt like walking through wet sand. I told myself, it's just stress, I'll snap out of it. But the fog thickened. I'd lie in bed for hours, staring at the ceiling, wondering why even the simplest task felt impossible. My broken mind became a broken record. What's wrong with me? Why can't I just be happy? One night, I sat on the edge of my bed, crying so hard I couldn't breathe. I'd cancel plans again, ignore calls, and let my deadline slip. I felt like one night I sat on the edge of my head, crying so hard I couldn't breathe. I'd cancel plans again, ignore calls, and let deadlines slip. I felt like a burden to everyone. That night, I Googled how to ask for help, but closed the tab out of shame. The lowest moment, standing on the shower, water running cold, thinking I don't know how to keep doing this. But then, a tiny flicker of hope. My best friend left a note on my door. I miss you. Let's talk whenever you are ready. That note felt like a lifeline. I didn't call her that day, but I kept the note. A week later, I typed a text. Can we meet? I'm not okay. Sending it was terrifying, but her reply, I'm here, changed everything. She didn't try to fix me, she just listened. And slowly, I began to see that depression wasn't my fault. It wasn't weakness, it was a storm I could learn to weather with help. Therapy wasn't magic cure, it gave me tools. My therapist said, depression lies. It tells you you're alone, but you're not. I started small, opening the curtains each morning, texting one friend a week, writing down one thing I didn't hate about myself. Some days that list was just I brushed my teeth. It took months. There were setbacks. Days the fog rolled back in. But I learned to hold on to tiny victories, a walk in the park, a song that made me feel something, a stranger's smile. Slowly, the colors began to return. Today, I still have hard days, but I've learned to say, this is not forever. I lean on my support system. I prioritize rest without guilt, and I've found purpose in sharing my story because silence feeds stigma, but truth builds bridges. If you are in the fog right now, please know ask for help is not failure. Healing isn't about getting over it, it's about learning to carry the weight with compassion, one step at a time. You deserve light, you deserve to be heard. Depression tried to write my story, but it doesn't get the last word. There's still beauty ahead. There's still you, stronger than you know, worthy of love and capable of hope. Hold on, reach out. The world needs you here.
What we just heard was an account of depression in a time when mental health awareness was limited. Compare that with today's world, where the conversation around mental health is much more open, but still challenges remain. Let's now hear from individuals who share their personal experiences in the present day.
Good afternoon, Jyoti Singh ma'am. So today we're actually asking some personal mental health questions. So if your mental health was a weather forecast, what would it be and why?
Weather forecast as in?
Ma'am, weather forecast as in as in like a mental health. Like what would be like? What will you feel like when you are when you're feeling like very joyful or maybe like you're having a good moment?
For me, it's like like I have a 11-month infant. Whenever I go back to my home, I think she's the one who whatever my mood is, she will actually make me very happy, and I feel very nice to see her. So I think right now, she's the one who is making sure that my mental health is actually happy. Yeah.
Yeah, having friends is actually very important. I feel.
Of course, it's very important. You need friends, you need people who are having the same mindset. You can talk to them and everything. Like, I have friends here, like Dr. Ashmita, she's one of my friends here. So I think, yeah, if there's something which is bothering me or maybe related to work or in personal life, I go to her, talk to her. So having friends is actually very important, and you need it throughout your life cycle.
So the first question that I would like to ask is, if your mental health was a weather forecast, what would it be today and why?
It would be shiny or cloudy because I had really bad internal right now. So yeah, otherwise it's good.
If your mental health was a weather forecast, what would it be today and why?
It would be pleasant because I have been, I've been doing my favorite thing, which I do. Yeah, so it's been pleasant.
If stress had a physical form, what would it look like for you, and how would you defeat it?
Stress, like a monster maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a weird shaped monster, and what was the second part?
How would you defeat it?
Defeat it maybe by motivating myself, because I think if I'm stressed out and I'm making myself more stressed, and that monster will be happy. So maybe motivating myself and trying to ignore the monster, something
Yeah.
like that. So maybe that.
Being disciplined, maybe
Yes, so something like that maybe. Yeah, like feeling, even if I'm feeling stressed out, maybe a smiling face can defeat that monster. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The second question that I would like to ask is, if stress has a physical form, what would it look like for you, and how would you defeat it? Like, how would you?
For stress, I would say it would be really claustrophobic types.
Yeah.
And how would I defeat defeat it is being with good people, people who give me happiness.
Surrounding with positive
Yeah, or get myself indulged in some good activities. Work.
If stress has had a physical form, what it look like for you? How would you defeat it?
It would look like a clay to me, and I would easily, just defeat it by just molding it from in my ways.
Hi, Mr. Sunil Sharma. Today we're gonna ask you some happiness project questions. First question: if your mental health was a weather forecast, what would it be today and why?
Mental
Health
there's
was a weather forecast.
So weather forecast today, it's already around 9 o'clock. So I'll be going to sleep after some time. So I want to have. I would like to project it like it's going to be some sweet dreams today. And before that, I would like to see some good movie.
Okay. It also rained today. You can also mention that as well.
But it's already rained.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether it will rain or not. I'm going to be in the room, so
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
Okay. If stress had a physical form, what would it look like for you, and how would you defeat it?
Stress as a physical form.
Yes.
Maybe a bigger door. We don't know anything beyond that door. Would like to open that door to understand what exactly it is, and would like to be something which is going to be happiness inside the door.
Yeah.
A big door which can be opened
Yeah.
like that.
True. It can be like that. Imagine if you had a mental health recharge button, what would you be pressing it to do it for you?
I think I'll go for a trip or something like that, because at times when I do feel very stressed out or something, you want to go somewhere with your friends or maybe family and enjoy yourself. And I think one thing, if I would like I want to go to the trip but without phone. I think that can release the stress a lot. But if I'll go without the phone, I want my near and dear ones to be with me, because otherwise without phone I'll get stressed out too, thinking okay what they are doing, they are well or not. So I think with family without phone, that is the perfect way for me to at least ignore everything. And
Yeah, I feel like that too, ma'am. Because nowadays there's a different trend that has been going on. People want to go to mountains and
yes.
beaches, and they're very famous because of that. The tourist has become very famous. And what is the one small habit you could introduce today to improve your mental well-being?
I think meditation is one of the things which generally I don't do much, but I think doing meditation, because I generally started doing exercise and everything, and when I went to exercise, it was just like I started during my PhD, and I went not thinking I want to get. I was for the body and everything. I want to do the for abs and something like that. That
Yeah.
wasn't the plan. I just went, okay, just to my friends were going. I was like, okay, I'll accompany you. But then I felt that okay, it makes your mind also very it's a very good your physical exercise makes your mind little bit less stressed.
Yeah.
So I think that is one thing. But apart from physical exercise, I think meditation can really help you with
Yeah.
that. So I think everybody should meditate at least 10 minutes or 15 minutes in the morning, or maybe anytime they feel stressed out, so that they can think. Because I think when you are stressed out or angry, it makes you do tasks which you don't want to do maybe. So I think just relax, or maybe 10-minute breathing exercise might help you at least to make you think that what is the solution for the thing, right?
True. Also it focuses it makes our focus more being more active. My dad also tells me to do meditation a lot. He does the meditation for at least 30 minutes in the morning, and even if you have not slept maybe entire night for 2 or 3 hours, even if you do meditation after that, it feels better.
Yeah.
It makes your body also more active then.
Yes, I think this is what I experienced when I thought, okay, I'll do the breathing exercise. If you start breathing very, fast, and after that you open your eye, you feel really like it's a restart basically. So that's what you feel basically. And apart from this, I think I'm a Hindu, so it's not religious thing.
Yeah.
I think every religion they have something which they read or maybe listen to it. They
Yeah.
feel very nice and calm. So I think for me that was Hanuman Chalisa. So I really feel very nice listening to it. So I think maybe other religion also has that. But keeping religion aside, I think meditation and exercise can really help.
Imagine if you had a mental health recharge button. So what would you press it for doing it? Like why would you press it? Like
Why would I press it? Obviously for happiness. Everyone knows that.
what is your one small habit that you could introduce today to improve your mental health?
What is my one small habit?
Small habit to improve your mental healthness, like
For girls, for boys, it will be different, but for me, it is getting ready.
getting rid of
Yeah, getting ready every morning. That's something to recharge.
Imagine if you had a mental health recharge button. So what would you press it for doing it? Like why would you press it? Like
Why would I press it? Obviously for happiness. Everyone knows that.
what is your one small habit that you could introduce today to improve your mental health?
What is my one small habit?
Small habit to improve your mental healthness, like
For girls, for boys, it will be different, but for me, it is getting ready.
getting rid of
Yeah, getting ready every morning. That's something to recharge.
Imagine if you had a mental health recharge button. So what would you press it for doing it? Like why would you press it? Like
Why would I press it? Obviously for happiness. Everyone knows that.
what is your one small habit that you could introduce today to improve your mental health?
What is my one small habit?
Small habit to improve your mental healthness, like
For girls, for boys, it will be different, but for me, it is getting ready.
getting rid of
Yeah, getting ready every morning. That's something to recharge.
Imagine if you had a mental health recharge button. So what would you press it for doing it? Like why would you press it? Like
Why would I press it? Obviously for happiness. Everyone knows that.
what is your one small habit that you could introduce today to improve your mental health?
What is my one small habit?
Small habit to improve your mental healthness, like
For girls, for boys, it will be different, but for me, it is getting ready.
getting rid of
Yeah, getting ready every morning. That's something.
Imagine you had a mental health recharge button. What would pressing it do for you?
It would just refreshen me up and just make me feel better.
What is one small habit you could introduce today to improve your mental well-being?
To go for jog every day in the morning.
Imagine you had a mental health recharge button. What would pressing it do for you?
I just imagine it should have recharge button. So if I would have mental recharge button, so I would like to press it to enjoy some good music, Hindi Bollywood old songs.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. If you had 10 extra minutes every day just for yourself, how would you spend them?
For me, I think right now my heart says I want to be with my child.
Yeah.
But I think if I want to see in a very different way, I think I want to be with me, not with anybody else.
Your own time.
Yes, I think that is very important, which I think I'm forgetting after having child, because you want to spend each and everything with her. Even if she's sleeping, you are thinking of, something for her, or maybe working something like the task which you have, like the pending task. But I never felt that, okay, I'm giving much time to me, like thinking for me what I want or something like that. So I think that is really I want to do. And I think I should be doing that, giving me at least those 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
So after you have asked me this question, I think I'll think about it and
Yeah.
give myself, that 10 minutes.
If your mind had a do not disturb mode, why would it turn it on?
Stay away from all the chaos and things happening in the cottage, all the tosses.
Yeah, I agree. If you had 10 extra minutes every day just for yourself, how would you spend them?
I would like to go for a walk.
If your mind had a do not disturb mode, when would you turn it on?
When I've had enough from the day and I'm just really tired, so I would just like to do the do not disturb mode on for me.
If you had 10 extra minutes every day just for yourself, how would you spend them?
I would just spend them alone, just be quiet and just enjoying the peace.
What is the one small habit you could introduce today to improve your mental well-being?
So to improve the mental well-being, you see, I want to again have a same thing, like to have some button where I can just press it, and whenever I am hungry, I would like to press that thing to ensure that I pause myself at that moment, to ensure that I go to some calmness, and after that I react.
Maybe on a travel, or maybe doing yoga also,
Yes, yoga is also good, music is also good,
Yeah.
whichever thing relaxes you.
Which is do you think your favorite thing to do if you are free?
Favorite thing to do is would like to read the newspapers, like to read some good story, like to listen some good podcast, or may like to say hear some good music.
Okay. If your mind had a do not disturb mode, when would you turn it on?
Do not disturb mode, would like to turn it on. I would like to turn it on when I see some chaos, maybe some atmosphere which is noisy, or say maybe polluting environment, to come out of it.
Yeah, that's true. If you're living in Delhi only,
Yes,
you can
yes.
just imagine.
In Delhi, I would like to have that kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
These,
Especially in
these are the
Gurgaon.
amazing things, one should have it.
Yeah.
If it would have been really, in that case, it would have been really great for everyone.
Maybe in different life, honestly.
Yes,
A different whole
definitely.
different life.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. If you had 10 extra minutes every day for yourself,
Hmm.
how would you spend them?
I would like to do yoga.
Yes. I would also do the same thing.
Yoga,
mostly.
or say I would like to play some game. Golf, would like to play, but then there is nothing for golf.
I would like to play. I would also do yoga, honestly, if I had 10 minutes more extra.
But you already have extra. Why don't you do?
I
Out
mean,
of 24 hours itself, you should do.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So it's on and off.
Okay.
Not every day. I don't do everyday yoga. So that's one thing. I should do everyday yoga.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Mental wellness app for students, what 3 key features would it have?
Okay, app.
Yeah, mental wellness app.
I think first will be that mindfulness thing or meditation or something
True.
like that, and I think some motivational quotes, because why I'm saying motivational quotes is I feel whenever I'm depressed or sad or something like that, maybe emotionally or something like that, when I read these quotes, I think actually it makes me feel very nice.
True.
Okay, it makes me motivated, it makes you feel a little bit better or something like that. And third,
Maybe meditation activities or something like that. Yeah.
meditation activities we can have, or maybe some
Group discussion based
yes,
on.
I think that can be one of the
group discussion based
yes,
on the
because
mental health.
yes, sometimes we are unable to express ourselves due to our like close ones, whatever thing is there in our mind. So what we can do is that maybe go and talk to some stranger who won't judge you, maybe. So I think that might help. So yeah, good idea. Thank you.
If you had to create a playlist for mental wellness, what 3 songs would definitely be on it?
How many songs?
3 songs, like whatever, like your 3 favorite songs maybe are.
So I think one I was listening during my PhD was Dil Ziddi Hai. I think very calm song.
Yeah, very calm song.
And there's one song of what is it of Taylor Swift? Flower, if you
Flower,
yeah,
yeah.
which is
I've
of
heard
the like mainly focusing on females. So that song and. There are so many songs which I basically
exactly.
listened. Okay,
One could be Coldplay or
yeah,
Piano
it
or
can
something.
be Coldplay, anything. So
Yeah.
I'll switch to Hanuman Chalisa.
Yeah, that's actually one of the best
Okay.
things to listen to, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could design a mental wellness app for students, what 3 key features would you like to add in that app?
3 key features that they all one that they always have an assistant to talk to someone, a good person, so that they can talk to someone because it is important that someone should listen. Yeah. First, second, indulging happiness activities because obviously it's about mental stress and all, so you need happiness. And third, I would say connecting to more people.
Surrounding yourself with positive.
Yeah. It's all about positive at the end of the day. Yeah.
If you could if you had to create a playlist for mental wellness, what 3 songs would you add like to add?
What is song? I understood your song.
It could be any like Punjabi or like whatever you like.
It is English song. It's a very good song. I didn't remember it. But it's always something happy. Happy song, the dancing song.
Is it Ed Sheeran?
Sorry?
Is it Ed Sheeran?
No.
Then what's the one thing?
If you could design a mental wellness app for students, what 3 key features would it have?
Basically, it should just analyze how much the stress level the student is having, also the different ways they can solve it out, and the third thing is they should implement those things and keep the record if the student is doing or not.
If you had to create a playlist for mental wellness, what 3 songs would definitely be on it?
I don't know about 3, but I would just tell one. It's Dear Zindagi.
What's the one thing you tell your best friend when they are struggling that you should tell yourself?
There's so many things I tell to my friends, but I'm able to do it for myself. Maybe think before whatever you are doing, and like be patient. At least think. Which I generally, if I lose my mind, that means I lose my mind. So I think whatever you're doing or speaking, at least think. Because if you're not thinking, you are actually saying rubbish things, and at times you feel sorry for that. Even if the other person has done wrong or something like that, or maybe you are angry on something, but if you do something which is wrong, or maybe said something which is wrong, it might bother you later. So I think before whatever you do.
You tell your best friend when they are struggling that you could also tell yourself.
Best friend.
Yeah.
Oh, I go every year.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I have money. That's the good thing.
Spending some quality time together.
That's the best thing you're doing.
That's the best thing. What's one creative way colleges could make mental wellness a bigger priority according to you?
Less stressing their children. Less stressing. There is a lot of burden on us. They should give us less work to us. Internal assignment by us, that. Very stressing.
What's one thing you tell your best friend when they're struggling that you should also tell yourself?
Just never lose hope.
What?
If you could design a mental wellness app for students, what 3 key features would it have?
First key feature it should have is that they should not sleep so late in the night.
Yeah,
I would like to stop that.
true.
Second thing, what I would like to do is the feature is that they should every day they should do 10 minutes yoga.
But what if they're studying, or like what if they are actually like doing something productive that is gonna help them like tomorrow, maybe?
Yes, they should be proactive on anything and everything. Proactiveness for everything is good.
Yes. But
Being
don't you think
proactive
like?
is always good?
But
for-
don't you think like if someone is working late at night, like if someone has like US clients or like outside of like the international clients, and they have
But
to
this
be
basically
awake.
creates the bad habits. You see, when you are say not sleeping on time, right? Your entire day next day is not going to be good. So eventually you are spoiling yourself and you are going into a cycle which is not going to help you either mentally or physically or maybe health wise also.
Yes, that's true. That's true. If you had to create a playlist for mental wellness, what 3 songs would definitely be on it?
It's all going to be
Kishore Kumar,
Hindi songs.
Hindi old
Maybe
Bollywood songs.
one maybe the Nile Nile Ambar Tale.
Yes, definitely.
Secondly, it can be maybe I would like to give all Hindi songs, right?
Which one? Chand Taro and what is that one? Kishore Kumar only.
Kishore Kumar. The other song can be Chala Jata Hoon. That can be
Yeah,
another
that
song.
can be
Right?
another song.
Then it can be Kahin Dur Jab Din Dal Jaye.
Yeah,
Multiple songs.
yeah. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the best to you.
Thank you. What's the one creative way colleges could make mental wellness a big priority? A bigger priority?
Innovative way.
Yeah.
Innovative way, I think. Some of like, I think there can be, I don't know whether it's really having, like really being done in the university, like based on university level or not. But I think department wise, we can have certain small, these programs or something like that. For example, there's 1 day or 2 day workshop of Zumba classes or something like that, or maybe something yoga and this and that, where students and teachers they can gel up. So I think that way maybe most of the things will be sorted out, and we can know each other. People can express themselves. So I think that is one of the way which I feel. Like having so many, I don't know whether it's there in the university level. I haven't really seen, so maybe there are, because I've seen there are some of the programs which are for faculty or yoga and something like that, but I'm not sure whether we have department wise where student and faculty both can join. So I think that might have.
I have actually good ideas. Well, like
What's one creative way colleges could make mental wellness a bigger priority?
They should just run a campaign to to understand the stress level the people are having.
Remember, healing isn't linear. Some days will be harder than others, and that's normal. Start with one strategy, celebrate small wins, and know that prioritizing your mental health is a courageous act. You deserve peace, strength, and joy. Take it one step at a time.
Hi, so my name is Shikhar Sharma, and today I'm going to talk about my mental illness. So, to talk about my mental illness, like it's been a very difficult and a very, I would say, a different journey. As I was born and brought up in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, and I have done my schooling from DPS Bhopal as well. I have so many friends over here that I cannot even count honestly. Like I have friends from DPS, I have friends from my the other school that I just joined after like in 8th. So basically, like in my life, I've tried to like gather as many connections as I could, honestly, because that's what I like to do. Like to do, honestly. Also, I went to MUNs and made so many connections over there as well. Like I also like to talk about DPS journey. So basically, I used to play a lot of football, and I used to be in athletics as well, and I used to be a very good football player, to be honest. And we had like different houses in which we used to play, and football was one of the things that got me closer to my friends, and it made me happy always. So that is why like I used to love doing those things, and I'm still gonna try to continue to do that in Gurgaon or like in Noida as well. But it's tough to get something like those academies in Gurgaon or Noida, as we have to travel a lot basically, and that is one point that I did not like about Delhi NCR basically, as we have to travel a lot, and we're not able to travel at all. We have to travel a lot, and the places are just too far, and the traffic is just too much. There's too much congestion, and no one can even people cannot even do anything about it basically if there is no infrastructure built yet. To come to my DPS journey more, like I had so I was there in DPS till 8th, and me and my friends, like I was very close to them like a while, honestly. After DPS, when I left DPS, I was still close to them for like a year or two, but after that, like you lose like kind of like the count, or like I would say you're not in touch with them anymore that much, as you're not able to meet them physically, and people also change in the upcoming years. And to talk about like then my journey in GGS, which is Gems Genesis International School, Ahmedabad. So in GGS, I used to always like when I joined my first day. It was when I met one of my best friend, Sahil Chandrana. He has shifted to US now. So to continue on talking about my journey in GGS and DPS for my mental illness, I used to play volleyball very well, and I was one of the best players in my school team as well in DPS and GGS. So as I told about my journey in DPS Bhopal, now I would like to talk about my journey when I shifted to actually Adani Shantigram, and it took a whole different. I went from a different life, honestly, and it just changed my life. I don't know what would have been if my life was in DPS or anywhere else, but I just felt like I was changed from everything, and that was one of the hardest periods when I had to change. Yeah, and then to talk about my GGS journey, when I first went, like I had made a lot of friends in the first month only, and I knew like GGS is gonna help me a lot, become a better person as well. And it did actually. It did really help me a lot to become a better person, and it always showed me like why I should be kind and always be helpful to others, which made me realize like I'm not the only person like trying to change my life. And my whole family had like left their friends like in Bhopal. We used to live in Bhopal actually, so it was very close to DPS as well. But now when we shifted to Adani Shantigram, I made a whole new friends as well over here as well. I'm still living in Adani actually. I'm currently in Ahmedabad actually. So came back for this weekend only, leaving tomorrow now. And let's talk more about my GGS journey, to be honest. Like in GGS, when I made in 10th, 11th and 12th, like 9th and 10th was mostly in online, which was in COVID. And we played so many games, honestly, during that time. It was one of the best times that I had, honestly, in lockdown, when we just used to play, like talk to like each other and all, and like have fun with each other. it just changed then. Like after that, like lockdown changed everything honestly. The boom of IT, the boom of every businesses, the startups basically, like everything just changed honestly. And we went to a whole different path honestly. So like I would say like people, if people want to be happy, like they have to like always choose what's the best for them, I feel like. And to choose like what's best for them, like they should always consider the factors, like they have to be in discipline and like be ready for everything. So yeah, in life, like you have to take challenges which make you suffer, and it makes you a better person, to be honest, when you move ahead. And that matters the most, I would say. And also like uh, my journey in GJS was kind of like that. When I shifted actually from football to volleyball, that's when my real journey started for volleyball.
In today's fast paced world, prioritizing mental health isn't just important, it's essential. Whether you're navigating stress, anxiety, or simply seeking balance, having practical tools can make all the difference. Let's explore 5 strategies to help you nurture your mental well being. First, pause and breathe. Mindfulness means grounding yourself in the present moment. Take 5 minutes daily to sit quietly, focus on your breath, or observing your surroundings without judgment. Apps like Headspace or Calm can guide you. This small habit can reduce overwhelm and bring clarity. Next, get active. Physical activity releases endorphins, your brain's natural mood boosters. You don't need a gym or walk outdoors. Dancing to your favorite song or gentle yoga counts. Aim for 20 minutes a day. Notice how movement shifts your energy. Fourth, fuel your body and mind. Poor sleep, erratic meals, or dehydration amplify stress. Start small, hydrate well, and add vegetable to your plate or set a consistent bedtime. Tiny changes create a foundation for resilience. Finally, it's okay to ask for help. Therapists, counselors, or support groups offer tailored strategies. If in person visits feel daunting, try online platforms like BetterHelp. Mental health is a journey, and guidance can light the path. Third, reach out. Isolation often deepens struggles. Share your feelings with a trusted friend. Join a hobby group or volunteer. Even a brief chat can remind you you're not alone. Connection is a lifeline. Let others in. Remember, healing isn't linear. Some days will be harder than others, and that's normal. Start with one strategy, celebrate small wins, and know that prioritizing your mental health is a courageous act. You deserve peace, strength, and joy. Take it one step at a time.